This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, and welcome back to Let's Talk Destiny Talk Show. I'm your host, Jamie Green, and I am honored to be able to share with you tonight. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. She is returning to our platform. Um, she is simply an amazing, creative person. Her creative mind is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I want to bring to your attention this beautiful background that I have here. I'm all excited because those of you who know me know how technologically challenged I am. And it's taken me almost a year to even get this background up here. But my guest tonight is the person who's responsible for this beautiful graphic. And if you need some graphic design work, I highly recommend her. Tonight, I'm going to welcome to the platform Ms. Imani Wisdom. She is a author. Um, she's published several books that go into that go into the spirit realm, as far as they challenge you to adjust your view of spirituality, to broaden your mind, and to go beyond what you have just been comfortable with all of your life. I absolutely love her writing. And tonight we're going to talk about something that may be a little uncomfortable for some, but I'm just thrilled to have her here with me tonight for this conversation. So tonight I want to say, Imani, welcome back to Let's Talk Destiny.
Thank you. And that was such a great intro. I'm just sitting over here just blushing. So I am so happy to be back. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking about, as the year closes out,
Mm-hmm.
um, some subjects that I had wanted to address this year that
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten around to, and
Mm-hmm.
some people that I definitely wanted to have come back and help me close out the year, because of how special they are to me, how
Yeah.
they've touched my life, how they've encouraged me and strengthened me throughout this year. And you are absolutely one of those people. And I want to publicly thank you for being a part of my life.
Okay. Yeah. Likewise, because I am like you are such an inspiration.
Oh,
And like, yes, because I don't know. I mean, it just sounds something about your vibe that just makes me smile.
oh,
So yeah, so like again, thank you for for the invite, and I'm so happy to to join you tonight and on a subject that it is hard to probably listen as well as talk about, but
yeah,
um I have been in therapy for 3 years, so it is time to share it. So
absolutely. And I appreciate you willing to be transparent and honest tonight. Now, before we get into our conversation about the childhood sexual abuse,
hmm
um, I wanted to ask you, this year, as we come to a close of the year, what would you say has been the biggest change that you have experienced this year, whether positive or negative? What would you say is the
um,
biggest change you've experienced?
okay, I'm gonna start with the positive because that's pretty much all that has been this year. Um, I have decided to add the L to my name, so that will be like that is the brand right now,
Okay,
Imani Wisdom, and I'll be putting that on my books.
okay,
Um, so also that right now it's like I'm not trying to stress as far as me trying to release a book. I have said like it is okay.
yes,
It is okay not to try to keep up with the other or authors, at all. I said I'm going to stop doing it. That is way too stressful for me. Um, so I said it is okay. It is okay to step back. Now
absolutely.
I still write. But as far as me trying to think about getting the book out right now it's like I don't care right now. It's like that is where I'm at, but it is a good thing because that's my form of self-care.
Awesome. Awesome.
And so, I mean, yes, I still have ideas and I'm still writing the same old thing that we talked about since I've been doing since March. I'm finally almost done, but that's like that really helps me. Writing is my outlet.
Yes.
So, and I said that when it comes to a time, like when I feel it inside of me, like when I feel it from the whole Holy Spirit saying, it's time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, it's time. Not try to do it my way. I've
Yes.
been trying to do it my way for about 10 years and nothing has ever happened. It seemed like when I get close to doing like this goal, something always happens. So I said, I'm not going to try to do it my way no more.
Awesome.
I'm going to put it in God's hands.
Yes.
So, like, I'm going to stay on his path. But I know that he gave me this gift, to write.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
perhaps this is not the time. It is not the time for me to even try to publish books. It is right now. I need to take care of myself. I need to focus on myself.
Yes.
So that is one thing that stood out for 2022 is like the decision is to let it go.
Yes.
So
Yes. I
right
love it.
now it's like unfortunately, I lost my job this year, so I am on unemployment, and so that means I had to let go of my websites.
Okay.
So now, if I would have said this maybe a year or two years ago, I would have been stressing over my
Yeah.
websites. I
Yeah.
would have said, I gotta have my websites. I need my websites. And like right now, it's like I'm letting it go
Yes.
because I can't afford it right now. And it is okay.
I love
It
that.
is
I
okay.
love it.
So that is like, I mean, it's not so much of the bad things that happened. It wasn't really that many bad things. It's where like this year I'm putting myself first.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not gonna try to keep up with anyone else because people who can put a book out each month, I am, I really look up to them. That's something to me I can't ever do.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. But right now, I'm stepping away. I'm letting go and letting God. And when He, put that in my heart to say, okay, it is time to get a book out, I will do it.
Awesome. So you're working, and I'm so happy to hear this,
Mm-hmm.
that you are readjusting some things and
Mm-hmm.
uh, redoing your brand, which is awesome
Yeah.
because 2023 is the year that we are going to need to have our personal brands
Mm-hmm.
in more places. More doors will be opening for us,
Right.
more opportunities will come. And so
Mm-hmm.
we are definitely working to make the necessary adjustments. And a
Right.
part of that is to be at peace with what we're doing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited to hear you saying that because I understand the stress and the pressure of thinking I have to do this by
Mm-hmm.
now. By now, I should have had this done. I
Yeah.
didn't do this go. I didn't. But there is a peace that comes along with saying, "This is my journey,
Yeah.
and I'm walking it at my pace. I'm not
Exactly.
walking my journey based on
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's pace." And that makes me so happy to hear you say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
Yes.
proud of
Yes, I mean, because the gift that God gave us, we shouldn't be trying to stress it. We are not supposed to stress what God has given us, like this beautiful divine gift. And
you.
I
Yes,
consider what I do, what I write, is a beautiful divine gift. And
yes,
we should not, or anyone else, should not try to stress or go into a depression that they cannot keep up with this person.
that's
And
correct.
especially on Facebook, all I know people was by their picture. That is how
Yes.
I know these people. I had never like probably 99.9% of the people, who are like us, who loves to write. I just know them by like their picture.
Yeah, the social media picture. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's it. So, and at one point I felt so stressed that I can't keep up with them. I cannot like try to put a book out like them.
Yeah,
And this year I said, you know what? I'm letting it all go. I'm
that's
letting
right.
it go until I feel in my heart that it's time to put something out.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very proud of you, and I've
Mhm.
seen the growth and the development and the
Mhm.
change, and most importantly, the peace. And I'm
Yep.
excited about that.
Mhm.
Tonight, we're going to talk about something that may not be so peaceful,
Right.
but but the fact that we're willing to discuss it is important.
Mhm.
Um, we've come to this place because it is a subject that is taboo in too many of our communities,
Yeah.
um, even after all of this time. So
Mhm.
tonight we want to talk about childhood sexual abuse.
Right.
And you and I had a conversation a few weeks ago
Mhm.
about some of our personal experiences and
Mhm.
how it shaped us emotionally, spiritually, even
Mhm.
physically, had an impact.
Yeah.
Why don't you start by sharing your experience and tell it what as much as you want to tell or as little as you want to tell
Okay.
about the abuse that you experienced?
Okay. So I have been through a lot of sexual trauma. I've been through a lot. Um, Let me flash forward to um like how it affected me. I tend to emotionally eat, and that is kind of like one of the drawbacks of a victim. Well, I really hate that word victim, but a person who had went through that
Yeah,
type of trauma, they
yeah,
tend to emotionally eat. And like there's one point I lost 100 pounds twice in my life, and I did it all by myself. I did not get any type of surgery, which there's nothing wrong with getting, choosing to have that gastric bypass,
yes,
but I did that all by myself. And after a loved one died in 2018, when I get stressed out, I start to emotionally eat.
yes.
So I end up picking up about 60 pounds in 4 years. But a lot of that not only just come from grief, it just came from the trauma that I went through.
That's right.
So I'm going to start. One thing that stood out, and I kind of suppressed this from my mind for years, and it didn't hit me until I went to therapy. And this was I was about maybe about 5 years old, maybe five, I think. And there were like these teen girls, maybe preteen, because at 5, like you seeing
Yeah,
like anyone taller than you, they
yeah,
they look
yeah.
grown, but
Right.
I think they were preteen girls.
Uh-huh.
And on separate occasions they lured me to a bathroom, and one of them called, both of them on separate occasions called it a game.
Hmm.
And you know, both asked, for a 5-year-old to perform oral sex. So that was that one occasion.
Hmm.
Um, my therapist asked, so how do I feel about them today? I said, well, even when I started to think about it more, I'm not upset with them. because where did they learn that?
Mm-hmm.
Where did they learn that? I mean, it's not like, like they had this mindset, okay, we're just gonna lure this five-year-old child, because I think they were maybe 12 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this mindset, well, we're just gonna lure this child, and we're just gonna perform, ask this child to perform oral sex. And so, no, I do not blame them. I blame the person who probably had done that to them.
Okay, well, let me
So,
ask you this before you
hmm
go on.
hmm
Do you remember in that moment when
hmm
they asked you to do that, how you
hmm
felt? I mean, there
I
had to
did.
be some confusion, like, what in
Yeah,
the world is even going on here, you know?
I thought I didn't understand, like, why.
Mm-hmm.
And when they expose themselves, I just said it. I didn't say the word gross. I just like kind of turn my nose up because it just looked nasty.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, of course, like I saw my mom, and of course, my mom would never, ever, ever, ever in the world would ask me anything like that.
yeah,
So, like, so they look like my mom down there.
yeah,
So that's why
yeah,
I said maybe they were about preteen, or like, maybe that's why I said maybe around 12 or 14 for
yeah,
both of them. And I just thought it was just like nasty.
yeah, yeah,
And then even when they said it was a game, I said, okay, it's a game.
wow,
And so I just did that. And I just thought, when I had to bite my mouth, I said, this is the most disgusting thing, which I didn't say disgusting. I just knew
yeah,
it was nasty.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
knew it was so nasty. And I didn't go any further thinking, okay, like I felt dirty. I was just glad that it was over.
yeah, yeah.
So this happened on separate occasion, and they were both sisters.
Okay.
So,
Do you
but
remember, at what point um you recognized that that experience was having a negative impact on you?
yeah, because I thought, when they said game, I thought that's what a game is supposed to be. Like, um I think, yeah, that affected me when I went to school. And then I was encountered by boys,
Mm-hmm.
and then they wanted to play house, not at school, but like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they wanted to play house. But the thing is like, you know, when a young child get touched a certain way, it confuses them, because
Absolutely.
they started to feel a certain way. And like, deep down, okay, yeah, it feels like this, but I'm not supposed to feel this. It's very confusing.
Absolutely.
And that's how, you know um that's why I found myself in certain situations growing up. Like, I was playing house with boys.
Yes. Yes.
um and
I
then
wanted to make sure
mhm,
that we address that, like,
mhm,
because sometimes when things happen to children
mhm,
um, that are traumatizing,
mhm,
and they internalize it, they don't just run
mhm,
around telling everybody, I'm acting up because this is happening, whatever. And
mhm,
then the adults in their life may not, be paying attention and
mhm.
even be aware of what happened. And
Yep.
this is why I want whoever listens to this video to understand
Mhm.
that these things affect children, even if they never ever say anything.
Right.
There was an impact. Something happened that day, the
Yeah.
very first time that they made you do that.
Mhm.
Something happened inside of you that you
Mhm.
carry for the rest of your life. Even
Yeah.
as you get healed from the pain of it, you
Mhm.
still remember it. It's like,
Mhm.
and then everything that happened after that with the boys and whatever, you
Yeah.
can't help but to reflect on what had happened earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's true. I mean, it's I mean, like what you said had come right on time because we were talking about that in Bible study, yeah, yesterday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I mean, it was like the pastor, just happened to bring up an example of a woman that he knew who was sexually abused when she was a child. And he said the same thing that you said. Like, yeah. Well, see, like the topic for Bible study was forgiveness.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's something else that I could add to, of like this next person that I will mention. But yeah, he said the same thing as you. It's like even if like you heal, you will not forget that. That's something that it will stay on you
Absolutely.
forever. I've been in therapy for 3 years. I have written about, like kind of like a therapy of what I went through, and
Yes.
it is still on me.
That's right.
It is
That's
it was it's like glue. So it is stuck with me, but I won't allow it to take like take over me. I would not
yeah,
allow
yeah.
that.
I understand.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's not controlling you
it's not.
anymore, but
No.
you, but
Mm-mm.
you remember it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like when you talk about forgiveness, like people in the church, and I love that your
Mm-hmm.
pastor was even discussing that because
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that annoys me
Yeah.
so much about the church in general is
Mm-hmm.
that we don't want to address issues like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
We want to just dance and shout and sing all over top of things,
Yeah.
but there are people sitting right in our church pews
Mm-hmm.
that have never addressed or dealt with their sexual abuse and trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
they're just trying to go through life pretending that it didn't happen. And
Right.
so I think it's awesome that your
Mm-hmm.
pastor is addressing that. And I
Mm-hmm.
also want to address what you just said about forgiveness and
Mm-hmm.
forgetting, because
Yeah.
we teach that to people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
God wants you to forgive and forget. Well, no,
Mm-hmm.
he does not,
Mm-hmm.
because he created you with a brain system that holds memories.
Right.
So, why the only way you're gonna forget is if you have dementia or Alzheimer's or something.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it really irks me when people say that.
Mm-hmm.
But the important thing is, as you mentioned, that I
Mm-hmm.
can remember it and it no longer causes me pain.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's
That's
where
right.
God wants us to get to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I remember that you molested me as a child. I remember what you
Mm-hmm.
did. I remember where you we were when you did it.
Yeah.
But I no longer think of those things and break down crying. I no
Mm-hmm.
longer think of those things and get physically ill because
Mm-hmm.
that situation no longer has power over me. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, cause like there were some things that I shared during Bible study and I didn't plan on doing it. It just felt
Mhm.
like something touched me and say, you know what, just go ahead and share that. Cause like he was pretty much telling my story.
Yeah.
So, and I said, that's funny that you mentioned that because you are telling what I went through detail, by detail. So, like the next person I mentioned is this. I'm gonna say this somebody, and I'm gonna leave it like that. But this somebody, and this somebody who I trusted, like, I mean, this person was he was nice, and he was fun. And looking back on it, when I told my therapist, yeah, yesterday, I said back then, I thought he was just cool, like just cool. I always want to give, just like give some uh candy and stuff, or just like he was just like a cool grown person.
Yes.
Looking back on it now, he was showing signs to try to get my trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he was doing. So I'm trying to frame this without. Okay, so this was. this encounter was the turning point of my life. It
Okay.
changed everything. It changed how I view men. It
Hmm.
changed the trust, not just with men, but with anybody. And it is still like that now, where I'm still trying to work on that is trust.
Yes.
Um, it's like I was I just turned 10 a month after my 10th birthday. And he like he he asked me like to sit on the couch with him. I had a book, I was rereading it, and I didn't think anything about it. I was just sitting there and we were talking, and it was no TV on. It was nothing. We were just talking. And all of a sudden, he put his hands on me. Like he slowly put his hands in my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I froze. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I
Yeah.
just pretended I was still reading the book I had in my hand. I don't
Yeah.
remember the book. I just was like, had like, that was my place for me to escape. This
Right. Right.
certain
Right.
book.
Exactly.
And he just slid his hands in my pants. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? I
Yeah.
mean, I was like, this person's this grown man.
Yeah.
And here I was, like, just turned 10. And he just slid his hands in my pants. And then he put, started like, he was basically fondling me all
Yeah.
over my breast and all that. And
Yeah.
I just froze. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. I mean, he was trying to have every effort to try to undress me, and that's where I wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I just decided like to just to leave, but he wouldn't let me leave. And that was when he was trying to pull my pants down.
Yeah.
And I was facing away from him. And I at that time I didn't know what I was feeling back there, but it felt something hard. And I'm like, what is he like? What is this? And I just kind of squirmed away and pulled my
Mm.
pants up. And and then he tried to do it again. And this time, that time, I had the courage to take off,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
ran off. So I think if I did not have that newfound strength in my mind to leave, I think it would have got worse, and I think he would have raped me.
Oh yeah. I definitely believe that. And
Mhm.
something else came to my mind when you were talking. Like
Mhm.
when children are born,
Mhm.
they are born trusting.
Yeah.
They are born
Mhm.
just believing if I have a need, I need to be fed, I need to be changed, I need to be
Mhm.
held,
Mhm.
whatever. Somebody's going to take care of it and they're not going to hurt me and they're not going to let me be hurt.
Yeah.
So when you are abused sexually as a child, one
Mhm.
of the things that I feel like is damaged the most and is the hardest to get back is
Mhm.
your trust
Yeah.
because
Yep.
you stop trusting uh, people thinking they're going to hurt you as well.
Mhm.
You stop trusting the people that you thought would protect you, and
Mhm.
sometimes they didn't even know what was going on. But in your
Yeah.
mind, you're thinking,
Mhm.
why didn't you stop them from hurting me?
Right.
Why didn't you? So it's that
Right.
whole trust thing that is damaged, and it takes sometimes years and years and years and years, like way into adulthood, to even
Mhm.
get to a place where there's even beginning to be any healing.
Yeah.
Um, and I just that came into my mind when you were talking because
Mhm.
you were sitting there with this person that you trusted. You had
Mhm.
no reason to not
Mm.
trust them up until that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that I just hope he, well, I was gonna say I hope he realized and put him in the present tense. But this is the part where my pastor was talking about a friend of his. She was kind of like, she was upset the fact that this certain person died, because like she never faced him about it, or at
Okay.
least heard, like at least said that he was sorry. And that's when I said, you are definitely talking about me, because um this person died. And I went to his funeral and I stood over his casket and I said, I forgive you.
Wow.
And because I didn't want him to continue to have rent in my head, like for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
space in my head where like he's doing this for free in my head. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you feel, just move on. I move on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I wait, I mean, I wish I would have heard the same thing from like, I am sorry.
Yeah.
But
I
that
understand.
never happened. That never ever happened. So I stood over his casket and I said, I forgive you. And when I went to sit down, I felt free. I felt free. So
That's the thing. The thing is to
mhm,
be able to do what you need to do so
mhm,
that you can live the life that God created you to live.
yeah.
Because you can't control, like the person that molested me. Like
Mhm,
I kept, well, I've been molested more than once, but I mean, the
mhm,
person that first started it was like, I was like 6 or 7 years old, and they
mm,
were an adult. I mean, they were
yeah.
married.
Oh.
Um, and so for years after I finally, and I was like maybe,
Mhm,
it went on to like into my teens.
mm,
And I just kept trying to figure out why nobody could see what was happening to me.
mhm,
Like, and so then as time went on and I lost, we lost contact with the person or whatever. But then I found after I went into therapy, ended up in the mental health unit and all that,
mhm,
and I started really talking about what had happened. Now,
mhm,
I was 32 when
mhm,
I first started really talking about this.
yeah.
This happened at 6 or 7. Look at all
Mhm,
those years that I carried
mhm,
that
right.
and the impact it had on me and other relationships, um,
Mhm,
even with my children.
yeah.
Um, so, um, as time went on, I started trying to find this person to see if they were still living or not, but I still
Mhm,
don't know if they're dead or alive. But
right.
it's like, and part of you that wants them to say,
Mhm,
I'm sorry I did that to you. And
mhm,
then if you know they're not going to say that, you want to at
mhm,
least be able to let them see I
mhm.
survived and I thrived
Exactly.
in
Mhm,
spite of what you did to me.
mhm,
Um, but
exactly.
in some cases that doesn't happen. But I also wanted to ask you,
Mhm.
did you share these experiences with your children? And if so, what was their response?
I have not. I am not there yet
Okay.
to do that. Well, no, I take that back. I did, but it wasn't where I sat down and had a conversation, like talking about it that I am with you. It's just
Okay.
that, like I said, I I went through something and I don't want you to go through what I've gone through. And that's why I am very hard on y'all.
Mm,
So if someone put their hands on you inappropriately, you
yeah.
tell me. No matter if they try to threaten you or try to say they will harm me,
Yeah.
because no, like you would tell me first,
That's right.
and then I will deal with. They will not harm me. So I mean, the only way they would keep you from even saying anything is to hold you against your will.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, that's what I told my kids, especially my daughter. She
Yes.
had like she developed fast like me, and I didn't, I let her. go to a sleepover once
Yeah.
when she was growing up. That's one thing I didn't play. It's like
Yeah.
letting your child just to go to someone's house, and time's a different way it was back then. And probably back in the day, it was probably still the same thing going on.
Exactly, because I was like thinking
Mm-hmm.
about once
Mm-hmm.
stuff that
Mm-hmm.
people start revealing later on in
Mm-hmm.
life, you realize
Yeah,
this crap's been going on forever. And
it's
you
been
know,
going on forever. Mm-hmm.
forever. And something else I want to say is not just um your daughters with males that you have to worry about or your
Mm-hmm.
sons with females.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the same sex that you have to
Yeah,
be worried about, because I knew
right.
this guy who was a known blatant homosexual. He was
Mm-hmm.
so proud of himself
Mm-hmm.
that he had molested some young boys, and
Mm-hmm.
he just whatever. And then he made the comment one day that he wanted my son to come over to his house,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't repeat exactly what I said to him, but
Mm-hmm.
I made it clear that he would not be breathing if he put his hands on my son.
Right.
So you have to really be careful, because
Mm-hmm.
these things impact children forever. Even
Forever.
after you tell it, even after you start healing, it's still there. So do
Mm-hmm.
you think there will be a time when you tell your daughter all the details of what happened, or no?
Someday, someday. I am not there yet. Because it is a lot that I
Fine,
went through.
because it's your journey. It's your
Yeah,
journey,
it's
and
right,
it's your
right,
story to tell. I was
right.
just asking, as a
Mm-hmm.
part of our conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think I'm not there yet, but someday that I will. Like I would tell all three of my kids. It's
Yeah.
just that it's just like it has to be the right time and the right place. I mean,
Yeah.
because I'm sure like they pretty much know, like, our mom has dealt with a lot,
Yeah.
and I did. And going back to writing, that's just that was my escape.
Yeah.
That was my escape. But that's my voice as well, because I don't
Yeah.
speak the greatest, and writing is my voice.
Yes.
Writing is where I would let a whole lot of stuff that is been in my heart, and I will put it out there. And
Mhm.
and if it makes some uncomfortable, just like my book, The Journey of Ruthie Bell, how it began. Yes, I mean that's how her life was with her husband, and and then it turned out he was abused too. So, and that's one thing that I
Yeah.
really wanted to get out is about men. Men do get sexually abused. Men, like
Absolutely.
as
Absolutely.
children.
Absolutely.
Some of them, just go through a lot, but for men, they most of them probably keep that inside too.
And one
Um,
of the reasons is because with little boys, and
mhm,
this, as you probably heard me say before, one of my
mhm,
major pet peeves is
mhm,
how we tell society tells young little boys not to cry,
mhm.
not to
Yeah. Mhm,
all hurt themselves, suck it up, you a big
mhm.
boy. So even
Yeah.
when these things happen to them and they're being molested, they're
Mhm,
being abused,
mhm,
they feel
mhm,
like I can't say anything because I'm a big boy.
mhm.
So I'm not supposed
Yeah.
to say that, let them know that this man hurt me or this woman hurt
Right.
me. So we're
Right.
training them to hold all of that stuff in.
To hold
Yeah.
that in. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like when I was in school, like some of my male friends, they would talk about their first time, and they would talk about the age of with this person that they've been with. And I looked back on it and I said, they were raped. That's rape. I don't care if they
Exactly.
felt in their head that they did consent. Because
Exactly.
at that time they weren't 16, because I think in the state the legal age of consent is 16, and they weren't 16.
That's correct. That's
And
correct.
they brag about, well, yeah, like I lost my virginity with this so and so person
To a
by I was
grown woman.
18,
Yeah.
a grown woman,
That's
and
right.
they were raped. That's rape. That
But
is
it's like,
rape.
like society makes them think like that's a big deal. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a rite of passage. Like now you a
Mm-hmm.
man. No, son, you are not a
Mm-mm.
man. You're a
Not a
little boy
man.
that was raped.
That was
That's
rape.
that's right.
That was rape. So I mean, I mean, that's like that book that I wrote, the Journey of Ruthie Bill. The first draft was really about Arthur and his dad.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, not really. It's just like their story was so profound, it outweighed the plot for Ruthie. So
Okay.
that's why I had to change it to first person for her. So
Yeah.
what I'm working on now is really what I meant to write
Okay.
at first. So yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, it's just, I mean, I was really happy that my pastor brought that up.
Yeah.
Um,
That was perfect
you know,
timing.
during, yeah, that was the best timing, and then tonight. So it just, I just feel like maybe this is like in my spirit to really talk about it more.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
I mean, like when a person that do molest or rape a young child, they do not care, or they don't have it in their mind that their few little seconds of pleasure is a lasting effect on that child forever. It
Absolutely.
creates a domino effect
That's right.
on that child where it involves relationships, it involves of how they see themselves, it
That's right.
involves the trust, it involves for me of like some type of destruction behaviors.
That's right.
Mine is involving being, I will emotionally eat to feel something, to feel that
Yeah.
void that I had, or feel that pain.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's something that I talked about, yeah, yesterday during Bible study, was
Hmm.
that few minutes of pleasure can wreck a child's life
That's right.
forever for
Absolutely.
them. That
Absolutely.
little, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, all they care about themselves,
Absolutely.
because they just want to, well, not just so much the sex, they want control.
That's
They want
right.
to
That
control.
power.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
want that power, and they want to feel
Absolutely.
that few seconds of power on someone who was much younger than them,
That's
or much
right.
smaller than them.
Vulnerable and much more vulnerable.
Exactly, and that is, you know, that is a lasting effect.
Absolutely.
And now here I am, 51 years old, and it's still on me. It is like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, not just with those girls and not with just playing house with those boys, because I mean, again, you know, we we were kids,
Yeah.
but it was just the point of how it felt,
Yeah.
and what I got out of it. And then this person who I did trust, this grown person,
Yeah.
and it just changed everything. It changed how I got involved with men later.
Yeah.
um it changed where that I started to get, I don't want to say addicted, a- addicted, but how it felt where I thought, this is how you get a guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
just just give it up, you know
Yeah,
that
because
is
it's
what
like
I
a lot
thought
of
back then.
girls become, in their teen years, they become very promiscuous because
Mm-hmm.
they feel that's what they need to do to
Yeah.
make this guy happy. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I need to do to make them really like me.
Yep.
Um, so it definitely has a domino effect for the rest of their lives. Now, I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask you this as we're
Mm-hmm.
closing out our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think are some things that parents need to be, not just parents, but adults
Mm-hmm.
need to be paying attention to with regard to our children to notice maybe something is off with regard to maybe they are being sexually abused?
Mm-hmm. Um, I say watch out for how a child will change. If
Mhm.
they notice how outgoing their child is, and all of a sudden they are withdrawn, that's
Yeah,
one of the signs. Because I was like that.
yes,
Because I used to like run up to like adults, and give them hugs and stuff. And
yeah, yeah,
when that happened with the person that I did trust, I stopped doing it.
yeah,
I didn't want to
yeah,
be touched.
yeah,
So, like, those are one of those signs where a child just don't want to be touched. They kind of drawn to themselves.
yeah, yeah,
Um, or where they start to suffer poor grades in school.
yeah,
That was me too. Um, or then some of them, start to show signs about sex. You know, um, having like an in interest in sex at a young age.
hmm,
That was me too. Um, but most of all, and so important, listen to your child. When they
absolutely.
come to you and say, so and so is doing something that's not right, or I don't want to be around this person. This
Pay,
person makes me
right, pay attention to
uncomfortable.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, pay attention, because you know most likely they have a reason to be uncomfortable or be afraid around that person.
because I used to hear parents say, grown-ups say, not just parents,
Mm-hmm.
like if a child wanted to stay up under them all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
they would say, going out there, like
Mm-hmm.
always up in here, up under me.
Yeah.
There may be a reason that
Mm-hmm.
they are, like you say, they want to be up under somebody that they feel will protect them.
Yes.
Um, so just pay attention. We have to be
Mm-hmm.
not be so quick to just push them away and say
Right.
they want extra attention. Like find out why they are craving this attention. Like you
Right.
say, why all of a sudden is my child who used to,
Mm-hmm.
I have to pay him to make him stop talking for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden they don't talk.
That's that. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to go outside. They don't want to play.
Right.
Find out why these children are changing like that.
Mm-hmm. And there's one thing that I need to add that is so important.
Hmm.
Um, like excuse me, my grandparents generation, or my
Hmm.
parents, they so quick to call a young girl fast.
That's right.
I cannot stand that. It's like no girl is born fast. No girl is born fast, like no child is born to hate.
Hmm.
And I mean, I was called that all
Yeah.
the time. And when they call a young girl fast, it has to be a reason why they were or fast in the first place.
Hmm.
Like, like you just can't just say, well, this so and so child is so fast. It
Yeah.
like there has to be a reason why they're fast.
That's
That's
right.
what they need to think about. Like, why is this person, this young girl, doing something things that she shouldn't be doing at that age?
That's
That's
right.
what the question that they should ask themselves, not just say that girl's so fast.
Yeah. And
That's
write her off and talk
right.
about her and gossip about her.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And that is
And
the
even if
biggest
you
pet
sit
peeve.
down with her and find out, like talk to
Mm-hmm.
her,
Mm-hmm.
build a rapport with her and trust and have her tell you why she feels that she needs to behave the way she's behaving.
Right. 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 So, and I can say the same thing for young boys.
That's right. That's
So it's
right.
like, there's no young boy, even though yes, maybe the hormones is different, but still, there's
Mm,
no young boy gonna come out and acting promiscuous. They're
mm,
not born like that. It's like it's just something,
yeah.
something that they probably have went through, and this is reason why that they are going through that. So it's not just applied for the girls; it's also for the boys
Of
too.
course. That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Imani, I have enjoyed this conversation. It has
Mm-hmm.
reminded
Mm-hmm.
me of the importance of paying attention to our children, especially in this day and time, because they have so much more um, things that they can get involved with, like with the online sexual predators.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so much more now than when I was a child that I was telling somebody even
Mm-hmm.
about some of these pictures that I see people posting on social media with the little girls, and they're fully
Mm-hmm.
made up, and they got the little
Yeah.
dresses with their buns sticking out, all that, and
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "Oh, she's so cute," and I'm like, "Yeah, the pedophile
Mm.
think she's cute too."
That's
Um,
one thing that I would not post
oh,
on
that
my
drives me
page
nuts.
is those young girls who are all made up and they're wearing, getting their clothes from fat fashion Nova. And I posted something like that once,
Hmm.
and the reception was so appalling. Not where they were talking about the young girls. These was grown men. Just you can hear the tone in their comment. It sounds so
Exactly.
lustful. I had to
Exactly.
remove that picture because it
Exactly.
was just getting out of hand. So I'm very particular of what I post on my page,
And
not
I've
my
seen
personal
a couple of
profile, but
talk shows. I've seen a
mm-hmm,
couple of talk shows
yeah,
where they were talking with pedophiles who had been arrested or whatever, and
mm-hmm,
they were saying that they go on social media and
mm-hmm,
they see pictures like that and they download them. They take
mm-hmm,
the pictures and they use them for their sexual pleasure. Uh,
uh-huh,
and I'm like, y'all need to think about, like, if you were a male or even a female and you saw that picture of your child, what
mm-hmm,
would you think? Like, I just don't think
yeah,
there's anything cute about it at all. So
mm-mm,
we have to
mm-mm,
really, really be careful of
yeah,
what we're putting out there and what we're allowing our children to put out there.
mm-hmm, yeah. Now when I have grandkids, I will really have to get to the point. Do I really want to post their pictures online? Period.
Yeah,
Because even if they look, with no makeup, nothing that is
yeah,
too, wearing something that's too provocative, I don't know if I really want to post anything of their faces because,
because I've pulled back on posting mine because it's
hmm
like, once the more I read and the more I see
hmm
about, like these websites where they just grab children's pictures off of any social media and they put
exactly.
them on their website and they like offer them for sale and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
You have to really just be careful and be
Mm,
wise. You know?
exactly. They are putting them on the dark web.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like parents have to be really careful. I know that they want to share, cute pictures of their kids, kids,
yeah,
them on vacation or their birthdays, but they just got to be careful. And then on
you
top
do.
of that, posting something exactly on their birthday.
Yeah,
Like you giving out personal information along with their names.
that's right.
And then, it's just like this world online is so dangerous, and you just have to be careful,
You have to
and you
really
just
be.
have to protect your child.
That's
So,
right.
like it's up to the parent, if they want to post stuff on Facebook or on in Instagram of their kids, that's cool. But me, I said if I'm ever get grandkids, I really had to think long and hard. Do I
Yeah.
really want to share this? Like, is this necessary to share this? Because they can be like looking so cute and sweet, but there's still people out there still like cute and sweet as
That's right.
well. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Wow. Well, I have absolutely enjoyed this conversation. It reminded me of so many things
Mm-hmm.
uh, that I needed to be reminded of, because sometimes we get lazy, not lazy, we get
Yeah.
lackadaisical
Yeah.
um, on certain subjects because it's not
Mm-hmm.
something that we're dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But this is definitely something that I'm going to be talking about more. Um, and I'm going to be reminding adults to look out for the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I was 32 before I ever got
Mm-hmm.
professional help.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of years to be carrying all of that.
Just a
Um,
lot of
a
years. Yep.
lot of years. And so I want to Let's Talk Destiny to be a format where we discuss purpose, where we discuss uh, destiny, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want it to be a place where people get information that is
Mm-hmm.
life changing and that can help them to be the best version of themselves. And
Yeah.
so I really, really appreciate you coming tonight, your
Mm-hmm.
honesty, your transparency,
Mm-hmm.
and just you really blessed me tonight, and I really
Oh,
appreciate it.
oh, thank you so much. And so have you, because this is your platform. And this is where I have said this since the get-go. Your platform is gonna grow because
Yes, ma'am.
you're such a great host. I
Oh,
mean, you just have a gift of you just have a gift. That is a
oh,
gift.
thank
I mean,
you.
not I
Appreciate
mean, yes, ma'am. I mean, not everyone, can, just speak so well to their guests and think of the right things to ask. So I said this from the beginning about you. And that's
it.
why that I said, you know what, I'm just gonna, because I felt it in my spirit to make all those graphics for you. I
Yes, you
said,
did.
like this, I mean, I can feel it. Like this is what you doing is your purpose.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate.
So
I
yes.
needed that. I needed that because I've
Mhm,
really been, going through some things the last couple of weeks and
mhm,
questioning a lot of things and
mhm.
figure out some things. So I really appreciate you saying
Of
that.
course. Mhm.
So
I
we
mean,
get ready
yeah.
for 2023. We get ready to take off.
Exactly. We will take off. I mean, again, it's like, it's about God's timing, not so much of ours. We are at the point where we are, you know, preparing for that
Yes,
time when God said, okay, here it goes.
that's
Here
right.
it goes.
That's right.
So,
Absolutely.
that's the same for me, and that's the same for you. And if anyone is out there listening, that would be same for all of y'all. It's just
Absolutely.
that you just gotta let go and let God, and He will take care of the timing because He already gave you that gift.
That's
It's
right.
just like this is the like right now we just have to take care of it. We have to season our gifts, and then
Yes.
when that time comes, He said, "Okay, Jamie, here you go."
Let's go.
Hmm. Yep,
Thank you so much. Again,
you're
I appreciate
welcome.
you. And we will definitely be talking soon because
Hmm.
I have a whole list of graphics that I want.
Okay, all right,
Okay. Thank you
okay.
so much. Talk to you
You
soon.
same here. Take
All
care.
right. Bye
Hmm.
bye.
Bye bye.